Katelynn and my channel name is TheStylishMed. I post medicine, lifestyle, and productivity videos. In today's video, I will be showing you guys my study routine, which is basically unchanged. I'm a final year medical student now, and for the past 6 years or so, I've pretty much studied the same way. But as things got more complicated in medical school, I kind of switched things up and added a bit more to my study routine. So in this video, I will share with you guys everything from before I get started to right when I actually say, okay, I understand this topic in full. I hope you guys will enjoy this video, and let's get right into it.
So I'm that person that likes to drink something or eat something while I'm studying, and so the first thing I normally do before I even sit down to study is to make myself a cup of coffee or tea or hot chocolate, or just pour myself a glass of water, and sometimes I'll have a snack with that. If you guys want to see how I make my creamy cuppas, you can go to my Instagram and see. I have a video there where I showed you guys how I make my coffee nice and creamy. And so another thing that I'm always talking about is how I can only work in a place that's like conducive for study and like set up well and clean and tidy. I don't actually have much on my study desk at the moment. It's typically just my tray where I keep all my business cards, my business phone, my earphones, a notebook, and my pencil case, and then a candle, some flowers, and my book rack, as well as this wine glass that I keep all my tools in. If you guys want to watch my video where I show you guys my study setup, do go and watch it. I'll leave a link in the description box and on the screen for you guys to go and click on it. When I have my snack or whatever it is that I want to drink or eat that day, and my desk is set up nice and tidy and everything is all prepared for me to study, then I actually sit down and open my study planner where I check what I'm supposed to be studying that day. I have a video on my channel where I showed you guys how to make a effective study planner, and you can go and watch that. Again, the links will be in the description box. So once I know what I'm supposed to be studying that day, I go through my curriculum as well as the textbooks so I can see what I'm required to know, the key concepts and everything. And then going through the textbooks, I have to see which one I want to use. I typically find one that explains things in detail, and then one that explains things in a more simpler way, as well as one that just summarizes. I have been doing a series on my channel where I show you guys the books that I find most effective for the clinical years, that is internal medicine, peds, surgery, and obs and gynae. Do go and watch it if you're a medical student and share with your classmates. I find it really helpful because I share the textbooks as well as case books and question books that I find really useful in medicine. I've picked the books that I plan on using for my studying. I typically read through the stuff in the detailed textbook, and then I make little summary notes or jot down important points or stuff that I feel like I need to elaborate on and read further, and then I'll go through it in the simpler book that makes it easier to understand most of the concepts. And sometimes I'll actually go ahead and watch a video or a couple of videos on the topic just to cement the knowledge and just make everything a lot easier. But the years I've been doing medicine, I found that videos explain things a lot easier and make things a lot easier to understand than just reading through the books by yourself. When I feel like I have a general understanding of the topic, I now go to my class handouts, which are usually in the form of a PPT as we get them in my school in China, and then I actually go through those PPTs or PDFs sometimes and make necessary changes to my notes and add stuff if I have to. But I usually find that if I've read the topic before in textbooks, by the time I'm reading it from the PPT, everything just makes sense. It's a lot easier to understand, because a lot of the times the PPTs are actually like really summarized, and they have key points but they don't actually have explanations. So I definitely recommend that you actually read the topic first, read around the topic before you actually sit down to open your class PPT and your class notes. after reading through several texts and watching videos and going through the class notes, I feel like I finally have a general understanding of the topic and I could start to write my notes. I don't do this thing where people write notes first and then go and read the topic, because I feel like with that you can actually leave a lot of stuff out of your notes and you tend to write more than you actually need to. Whereas if you've read around the topic, you've read through all the concepts and everything, you've mastered everything, by the time you're writing your notes, you're writing down important concepts, and the way you're writing it down is in a way that's going to make it easy for you to remember. And I typically like to add diagrams, tables, little short mnemonics and key points and little summaries that make me able to remember everything that I'm studying, so that when I go through my notes again, everything just comes back to me and I don't have to read through long text. By the time I'm done writing all my notes, I actually quite understand the topic, and then I go ahead and test myself. I feel like testing yourself is a really important part of studying, because how do you know that you've mastered everything? You could have read and feel like you know everything, but when you actually do a question or come across a case, it might not be the same exact presentation that you read through the textbook. So it's really important that you quiz yourself, you analyze cases, several cases for that matter, and just see how well you've mastered the topic. And if there are any gaps, you go back and you fill those gaps. So I typically do a bunch of several questions in my textbook. I do some online, and then I have an app called Prognosis that helps me do cases, and then I also have a couple of handouts and printouts that I use. So this usually goes on over a couple of different days. Whenever I have time and I'm not doing anything or I'm bored in bed, I'll just grab my quizzes and handouts and I'll just go through those and see if I still remember. Because another thing is that once you've studied, don't just put it away and say, okay, I studied that, I know it, because it's very easy for you to forget, because the amount of work we do in medicine is quite a lot. So it's important that you keep rechecking yourself and reanalyzing cases and redoing questions just to cement the knowledge and keep it in there.
So guys, that was my study routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you will gain some things from my routine and incorporate them into your own. Please leave a like, comment down below what your favorite part of my routine is. Tell me what your study routine is. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one.